Well, we've talked about the hottest job sectors right now, and we've discussed ways to get yourself a better pay package or a promotion. But what if you're having a hard time just making contact with those on the inside of the companies you want to work with? Well, Brad Karsh has some tips. He is the president of JobBound. He joins us from Minneapolis. Brad, I don't think we've talked twice with you in the same city. Welcome to the show. Good to see you again.
Hey, it's great to be here. Thank you.
Brad, this is a problem. We hear there are jobs out there. We know they're there, and some of them are advertised in newspapers or on websites like Career Builder or Hot Jobs or Monster, and some of them aren't. But maybe you make the assumption that you live in a city and there are some major industries there, and you know that that company's got to be hiring. What do you do? What's your approach?
Well, the first thing you want to do is you want to try and network your way somehow into the company. And this is something that a lot of people talk about, but I don't think people have perfected the art of networking. And in essence, what you want to do is try and make some contact within that company. And I kind of equate it to 6 degrees of separation. You might not know someone at that company, but chances are you know someone who knows someone who knows someone. And whether that's through a networking group, whether it's through friends and family, whether it's through your old college alumni network, you can probably find someone in that company to at least start with.
And what's your goal? The goal is you want someone who you can use their name, you can call up and say, hey, Brad, I'm calling, I want to send you a resume, so-and-so recommended that I give you a call or an email or something like that.
Absolutely. And from the perspective of the recruiting director, networking is an easy way for them to hire people. When I was a recruiting director, it was not uncommon to post a job and get 500 to 1,000 resumes for one position. And I would flip through those resumes and maybe pick out 5 of those that I'd want to interview. Now, conversely, I would have a list of maybe 10 resumes from people within the company that said, hey, I just met this guy, Ali. He's fabulous. We have to hire him. Now, I wouldn't necessarily interview all those people, but probably interview 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
So your odds are so much better that way.
All right, so where are you trying to get? You find out somebody who works in the company.
Yep.
Where are you trying to get with that? Are you going to HR? Are you going to department heads? Where are you aiming?
It can really start with anyone that you know in the company. Obviously, the higher the person's status is or the more closely they're related to the hiring process, the better. But really start with anyone. And what you want to do is you want to contact these folks, send them either an email or a voicemail. I suggest you start with a voicemail and you say, hey, my name is Brad Karsh, and I got your name. Ali Velshi is a good friend of mine, and he suggested I give you a call because I understand that you work at Pepsi, and I'm very interested in getting a job at Pepsi. Would you ever spend 20 minutes with me talking about careers there? And what you want to do is try and get onto that person's calendar, whether it's in person or over the phone, and just talk to them about jobs in that company in general.
So you're not asking them for a job?
No, you don't. It's one of those things that's kind of funny. It's understood that you're sort of wanting a job, but you don't come out and ask for the job.
Right, so the person on this end doesn't have to feel the obligation. Sure, you want 20 minutes of my time to talk about the company and what kind of jobs there are? Absolutely.
Exactly, and how you got to where you are. You know, the secret is everyone loves to talk about themselves. So, hey, you're a successful person at this company. Tell me about how you got to where you are. And 9 times out of 10, someone will talk to you, especially if you have that connection. And what you want to do is, it's difficult to get those people, and it's kind of, I joke about it, it's a little bit like dating, you know? Yeah. Not everybody's going to accept your advances, if you will.
And like dating, they may not answer your call the first time you call.
Exactly.
How much of a pain do you be?
You know, there's a fine line between persistent and stalker, okay? So you want to be persistent. Give them a call. Wait to hear back. Leave a message the first time you call. Do not call 10 times in the same day and keep hanging up because they don't answer. There's this little thing out there called caller ID.
So they'll know you. That takes you over to the stalker side of it.
That's exactly right. You've crossed into the stalker side. So leave a message, leave your connection right up front.
Yeah.
Wait 4 or 5 days or a week. If you don't hear from them, I say give them a multimedia approach. Next time, email them. Maybe they're more of an email person. Maybe they don't like to call back. Shoot them an email. In the subject of the heading of that email, put the connection. The first word should be the connection. Ali Velshi referral.
Nice.
Looking to find information so that they don't think it's spam.
Brad, I got to tell you, every time we talk, you just give such specific information. I love it. I want to keep on talking to you. You've got great ideas, but I also want to go to our phone lines and talk to our viewers. Let's go to Mary in Florida. Mary, hello. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Great ideas you've got, but I have one question.
Sure.
Specifically speaking, pertaining to Pepsi, we had a situation where we found out they were hiring. However, they only hired through employment agencies.
Uh-huh.
How do you get around that?
Interesting. Brad, what do you know about that?
Well, I would say I would take the same approach. So if they are truly only hiring through employment agencies, I would find out the employment agencies that they're using and try and, in essence, network your way there. So make the application, see if there's some people even at those agencies that you know to ensure that you have the best chance of at least getting noticed by those employment agencies.
What about companies that, I don't know if this is really true, but what about companies that have such strict processes for applying for jobs? In other words, got to go through HR, it's got to be a form filled out, and there seems to be a disincentive for the networking part of things there. How do you handle that?
Well, I would argue that while they say that, they don't necessarily do that exclusively. So, again, at the company I used to work for, we had a very formalized process. You had to go to our website. You had to apply through those means that we had established for accepting applications. However, when the CEO walked in and said, hey, you know, my nephew's friend is this great guy, you got to talk to him.
You're going to
Lo
talk
and
to him.
behold, we're talking to him. Now, we're not hiring him, but we're at least talking to him.
Right. Brad?
Yeah.
Your views on how to get started?
There are a couple ways, and I think what the mistake people make is they don't realize the connections that they may already have. So if they truly don't have family, don't have friends, if they don't have a college alumni network, volunteer your time, get involved, coach a soccer team, join the American Cancer Society, get yourself out there. The older I get, the more amazed I am at you just never know. How many connections exist out there when you just even apply yourself remotely?
Interesting. All right, let's go to New Jersey for Bob. Hey, Bob, how you doing?
Good. How you doing today?
Good.
I'm a little bit past the networking part.
Okay.
I'm doing a long distance job search, and I've had a number of phone interviews. And we're at the point now, and I'm working on several at one time. We're at the point now where it's coming time to do a visit, and we're getting into this back and forth with the emailing. Okay, call me this day, call me that day. You call, the person's not in. You get the administrative assistant. At what point do you basically say, okay, if they're interested, they're going to call me? I know, you know, perseverance works here, but it looks like at a point you're being a pest.
A bird in the hand. Very interesting. You've got this thing where, is it an offer yet, Bob?
Not an offer.
But it's close. They're ready to invite you to check the place out.
Right. We're discussing now, come out for a visit, but we haven't firmed anything up yet.
Brad?
I would throw out some specific suggestions to them. So how about September 15th at noon at your location? I'm guessing it'll take this amount of time. It's almost like you have to sort of give them something that very easily they can react to so that they can just say, sounds great, or yes, or we'll make the plans. I'm not sure if you figured out who's paying for the trip, if that's something you're paying for, if they're paying for. But if you're paying for it especially, you can take more liberty at picking a specific date and time.
We're going to take a break. We'll come back with more of your calls and emails for Bill Belknap of the 5 O'Clock Club and Brad Karsh of